What's up guys, Xavier Wills here for Desktop Bodybuilding, and we are back with another video, and this is one that's a little bit of better late than never because I'm wrapping up the 2019 British Pro Grand Prix, and I'm doing that late because I had my first child, a beautiful baby boy, which I won't bore you guys with too much, but his name is Kylo Cameron Wills, and he was born just 2 days ago, and he's like the most amazing little dude you'll ever see in your life. But enough about that, and let's talk about bodybuilding. And the discussion is Nathan De Asha versus Samson Dauda. But we're going to start at a few other guys first, and I'm going to give you what I predicted for this show in my preview video. So I predicted 5th Lucas Weiler, 4th James Hollingshead, 3rd Milan Sadek, 2nd Samson Dauda, and 1st Nathan De Asha. And I'm pretty proud of those picks because you have to just swap two guys, Milan Sadek and James Hollingshead, and you have the top 5, which, gotta say, I'm pretty happy with myself. Even Samson was saying, he's like, you predicted it, man. He's like, you predicted that I would get 2nd, and I got it, you know, and it was surreal for him. So I was happy to predict that, and I'm pretty chuffed with myself. But anyway, let's launch into it, and let's discuss the comeback of Zach King Khan. Now, Zach came in. He wasn't obviously what he used to be, which is fine, like, because even the way he spoke at the press conference, it was sort of like, you know, why not do it? That sort of was his attitude towards this, and he looked pretty damn good. I've got to say, like, his condition, pretty decent. His size, pretty decent. His legs, pretty decent. But pretty decent doesn't get it done in terms of a top 5 finish here, and he placed down in 11th. But I've got to say, this lineup was pretty deep. There's no real crap guys in this lineup whatsoever, and you got to say that coming in 11th, beating out a few guys, that's a win for Zach King Khan, I think, and I hope he keeps training and keeps on improving on this because we hadn't seen him on the stage in quite a while, several years, and everyone thought he was done. Nick Strength and Power did a video on Zach Khan. It was on a few other guys as well, basically saying like guys that didn't reach their potential, and he was one of the guys on there. And then I think a day or two later, it's announced Zach King Khan's coming back. And Nick, it was a bad time for Nick Strength and Power. I feel bad for the dude because I could do that exact same video and, you know, then I've got egg on my face, you know. So I feel bad for Nick Strength and Power, even though some people are sort of clowning him about it. I don't think he needs to be clowned about it because I think that he does a great job. But anyway, let's discuss some of these other guys. And I just want to say, I hope Zach Khan continues to compete and comes back and looks sensational because I thought he looked pretty damn good here. As you can see, he's obviously in that video as well. He's 2nd on the right. Anyway, let's move on and let's discuss a few of these other dudes. We've got Andrea Presti, 2nd on the left. He came in 6th. This dude is shredded to the bone. Shredded to the bone. And he has tremendous glutes, big chest, some good body parts, but he falls down in the back, and that's what sort of kills him. But I know he's a pretty young dude. He's got plenty of time to improve on that. In the middle here, you got Milan Sadek. We'll talk about him a little bit more later. And then on the right, in 5th place, is Lucas Weiler, and you can see the size on this dude. This dude is thick, like big glutes, big legs, big back, big everything really, and his shape, his condition was pretty good. I mean, I could really make a case for this guy being higher, and I think if he competes more and even comes in a tiny bit more crisp, I think this guy's only going to climb the ranks, and, you know, maybe he needs a little bit more chest or something, but that's about it. He's pretty damn complete. But let's move on. Let's discuss the battle between James Hollingshead and Milan Sadek. Now, this is a close one because James Hollingshead, he's competed a lot this year. Milan Sadek's done a few shows as well. And, I mean, James is sort of, you'd probably say he's improved. He might be similar to when he got 3rd place in the Big Man weekend, and he got 3rd place here. He's on the left in this video. Comes in pretty gnarly. He's got a pretty small waist. I hope he maintains that because I know he does lift heavy. He's one of the real heavy lifting dudes, and you can see it through his condition and his gnarliness, and that's sort of what puts him as high as it does because he might not be as big as some dudes, but he's got that gnarly, grainy muscle, and that just looks sensational. These guys are an awesome comparison because, you know, they're both bald, they're both about the same height by the looks of it, and they've both got sort of similar shapes, so it's a pretty tough comparison. But here you'd have to say that James was just that bit harder, and I think he was a clear 3rd in my opinion. And Milan Sadek, he looks great. He's got a fantastic shape. Like, you can not take anything away from this dude. Like, he's done awesome this year, and he's deserved the placing he's got. You can just see his shape. Maybe he wasn't quite as full and not quite as crisp, maybe, but his condition was pretty damn good. He still had plenty of muscle, maybe just not quite as impressive and exploding fullness with crazy condition as he was at the earlier shows. So Milan Sadek gets 4th, James Hollingshead 3rd. Now, let's move on to the top 2 and the guys that everyone was discussing with this show. It is Samson Dowda on the left and Samson Dowda on the left and not James Hollingshead. We've got Nathan De Asha on the right. And this was a battle. I mean, Nathan De Asha has the out-angling here because his camera angle's on a bit of an angle, but there wasn't much good coverage in terms of videos and photos from his show. And from the back, you can see here, the glutes and the back is where Nathan wins it. He wins it from most of the other shots too, I've got to be honest, as much as I love Samson. But that quarter turn there, that's the one that Samson probably gets. With the hamstring and also with the chest, I'd say Samson probably wins that quarter turn. But most of the other shots, you've got to really give it to Nathan if you're being honest. Because you see that front relaxed, Nathan opens right up. Samson keeps it a little tighter. I like the opened up look a little bit more, but Samson is just, he's added 14 pounds of muscle since last November. And I believe it because I've seen the photos and he's gained a lot. Like, he's crazy. Samson can get a little bit more crisp, I think. He can come in a little bit tighter, which is his plan coming into the next shows. And I think that will serve him really, really well because you can see that Nathan just has that thick muscle and Nathan was harder too. Nathan was really hard. So it's hard for Samson to come up against Nathan De Asha's best. And I mean, I think it was a battle. But I think the right guy won in the end. Nathan is just probably that little bit too big in certain areas. He's got that bubbly muscle. And Samson's just big frame, huge dude. And I think when he walks out, you're like, whoa, Samson, crazy. But Nathan has the detail. Nathan has the more mature muscle, which Samson said himself in our interviews. He's, he said Nathan's got that, or he didn't say Nathan specifically, but he's not going to have that same sort of maturity and density and all that sort of stuff that some of these other guys are going to have. And that's fair enough. I mean, this dude has impressed and you can take nothing away from him. Now, this is a top 3 comparison. They put James Hollingshead in there because he looked absolutely awesome and you can see him on the right. But you've really got to say that I think it was a clear first, a clear second, a clear third. I wouldn't say a clear 4th though, because maybe I wouldn't even say clear 3rd because I'd love to see Lucas Weiler stand right next to James Hollingshead. But you got to say those top 3 are pretty clear if they're comparing, those guys together. And I think, James, I think what worked in, I suppose, Lucas Weiler's disadvantage is that James Hollingshead and Milan Sadek are very similar. And James Hollingshead's from Britain, which might play a small influence on the judge's mind if guys are 50-50. So I think that those guys were so close in terms of what they look like. I think it sort of knocked Lucas back because I think he's either going to be 3rd or he's going to be 5th. And sometimes that's the way it goes with comparisons. But I think another show, Lucas, could come in and he could win it. Honestly, I think he's that good. He has that much potential. So that's my opinion, at least anyway, for whatever it's worth. Now, you can see all these dudes here. This is the top 4 comparison. And I just tried to put as much footage in here as I could so you guys can get a good look at the contest. And so I want you guys to make sure that if you like this content, give me a thumbs up, like this video. Also, comment below. Let me know what you thought of this show. Was the placings all right? Should Lucas Weiler have placed higher? Give me an opinion of all these other dudes as well, because I find your guys' opinions interesting, and I love that bit of conversation going back and forth. Also, I'm going to have a preview of the Chicago Pro, which is this weekend, and it is a stacked lineup, and Samson Dowda's backing it up, and he's coming in again. And I'm going to give my predictions and let you know what I think of all the competitors, because there's so many dudes in the lineup. There's 25 in the open, and we're going to be previewing the 212 as well. So it's stacked, and I'm so excited for that show because should be a good one, and it'll be interesting to see how good Samson is against these other US dudes, because he's good against Nathan, but is he good enough to take out the likes of Charles Griffin, Michael Lockett, and all those guys? I'm going to give my opinion on it, and I hope you guys can give your opinion on that other video too. So if you're not subscribed to this channel, subscribe now, hit that notification bell button, and you'll not miss out on any videos that I post up, and that's the idea of it. And anyway, guys, for Xavier Wills, Desktop Bodybuilding, we are out.